I think it's important to start from my Saturn return. If you don't know what Saturn returns are, Saturn return is basically a period which everyone goes through. It occurs roughly between the age of 27 to 30. It's when the planet Saturn returns to the exact position it was in when you were born. Some people practice it only when it's near the degree of your Saturn. What I practice is when it enters the sign or the house it's in of your Saturn. So during that period of 2 years, 2.5 years, for me it was actually quite fun. I do have Saturn retrograde in Capricorn, and at that period of my life I was actually building a platform where designers could get freelance jobs from clients because I have a design background, interior and graphic. So I got to meet a lot of designers, clients, even help sharing sessions. From there, I managed to get a government grant, managed to get interns to help out. But after they left and after a period of time, I sort of got burnt out. Doing everything alone is not easy. So I went back to a full-time job, which I really liked. I was there for about less than 2 years, which is actually the longest period of time I was in a full-time job. I never really stuck to a full-time job because it wasn't something I really liked to do. I don't exactly like working in a full-time job, and sometimes you just know that it's not for you. But this period sort of overlaps a bit with my Saturn return, but it's on the tail end. About 1.5 years into my full-time job, apart from this, which is important to this story, I did have a pet, a dog of 16.5 years, which at that point in my life, she was with me for half of my life. I didn't realize the impact she would have on me, but when she passed, everything changed. About 1 month before she passed, we actually engaged an animal communicator. Initially, I was skeptical. I was like, are you sure this guy can talk to pets? Not even meeting them in person. It was through images, photographs, and via a phone call. Because at that point in time, she was very sick. There were a lot of issues within her body. And we wanted to know, my family and I wanted to know if she wanted to be put down or she wanted to go naturally. So yeah, we engaged him, we did a call. But when we engaged him, I was actually still at work. I did the reading with my dog Pebbles before I came home. So when I came home, I'm quite sensitive to energies. I can sort of feel things. Maybe that's my Scorpio moon in my first house. But when I came home, there was something very peaceful about her energy. She wasn't panting as hard and she wasn't frantic. She was just laying down there, looking around, very peaceful. And that's when I learned that animal communicator actually already had a session with her. The call with me only happened after that. So that's when things start to click for me. And like, oh, okay, interesting. And during the call I had with the animal communicator, there were a lot of things that I didn't say that he knew. So for one, when I bring my dog out for walks, she doesn't like going up the slope, or rather I have to really drag her up the slope. And what the animal communicator told me was that she doesn't like going up the slopes. At that point of time, I didn't know. I only knew that I wanted to get up the slope, so I dragged her along. There were a lot of resistance, but I thought it was just, a dog being lazy to climb up or something. But that's when I knew, okay, this guy actually really communicates with pets. Because when I walk my dog, it's just me and her. Obviously, the animal communicator is not there. That's not something that he'll know. There's also a lot of other details that made me realize, okay, he really talks to pets. So it's a thing. And one of the contributing factor to me quitting the job that I really liked was that my pet actually told him that she wanted the family to spend more time at home instead of always going out. But due to work schedules, most, if not all of us, have to work. So that was one of the contributing factor that made me quit my job. But it was not only that, it was also because I've always known I can't function in a full-time job. It's not something I really want to be doing, going to work at a specific time, leaving work at a specific time. If you had a lot of things to do, obviously you'll work overtime, but if you had nothing to do, you had to sit there and pretend to be busy. And for some people, safety, that comfort of knowing you don't have to worry about finances and all that, it's a safe option, it's comfortable, but to me it was a waste of time. So after I quit my job and my dog left, I went into a period where spiritually it's deemed as dark night of the soul. This period lasted for 1 whole year before I decided to do something about it. I will touch more on what it is, what that whole journey was like in my next video. So yeah, see you in the next video.